Hi everyone, welcome back to my channel. Today we're going to look at what you need to stop doing in the opinion of Spirit for 2024. I will say I don't know what will come out, so I do want to put out the disclaimer that this reading could be potentially triggering, but I am going to try my best to deliver the messages in the most sensitive way, so please don't be scared, but I think it's also my duty to also say that it could be triggering, okay? Spirit has a way of, speaking to you while they have your attention at this moment to really get you to hear the messages. So sometimes it can come across as a little blunt, but do not fear. I will try my best to be as sensitive as possible. Now, I am going to pick the piles. I am going to choose these cards as, which one you'll be gravitated towards. Please also note that if this card comes out and it is negative, like if there's a potential card that is negative, don't shy away from choosing it if your gut intuition is pulling you towards it, because it doesn't necessarily mean that the reading is going to be negative. Okay, I've seen this. I've done this on my Patreon platform many times. I've seen that. So just don't jump to conclusions. Okay, so I'm going to shuffle the cards now and I'm going to choose each pile. So we're going to channel everybody who's watching and bring forth the best, thumbnail for each pile. What would be representative of a thumbnail for each pile. Okay, so let us channel everybody who will eventually pick group one, and let's bring out the perfect card for them. So we've got staff you will be taken care of in difficult times, and I will take a picture, don't worry, at the end and bring them closer to your view so that you can definitely meditate on which one you feel gravitated towards. Let's channel everybody who is will be watching in group two. Let's pick the perfect card for them. So we got pig, beware of greed. So that is going to be representative of pile two. Let's channel everybody who will be watching in group three. And let's bring forth the best card for them. Broken wishbone, you wish will not be granted. And let's channel everybody who will be watching in group four. What will be the best card to represent their pile? Stork, news of a birth or a new business opportunity. So I'm going to right now put up these on your screen. And you're going to go with the one that you feel the most gravitated towards. And again, if you feel like you are gravitated to the one that is, technically giving bad news, I would go with it. I would really go with it. It doesn't hurt to see what will be said. It could resonate with you. And if you do want to choose more than one pile, you can totally do so. We totally welcome that here. So go ahead. I'll give you 10 seconds. That countdown to choose, that timer will start now. Hi everyone. Okay, so if you were gravitated towards image one, this is going to be a reading, but a couple things to note. Please go into the comment section as you are watching this reading or right now. There will be some links that will take you directly to my Etsy shop if you'd like to book a personal reading. I always get comments on how to book a personal reading. The links are within the description box or will be within the comment section, as well as the direct link that will take you to my Patreon platform. If you like my content and you want to see a lot more readings, I've got 400 extra pick-a-cards right there for you, including one that I just filmed yesterday on Cat Williams and what happened in Miami. Yes, I am a world tarot reader. I don't just read on these sort of topics. So if you are interested in that sort of thing, you can find that within the comment section. I also want you guys to be subscribing if you do like my content and the way that I read. I don't want you missing out on a reading from me or when I go live. So please make sure that you are hitting the subscribe button and that you are tapping all notifications. And that goes for pre-existing subscribers as well. So I hope you didn't miss the intro. I did explain that, this reading could be potentially triggering. I did wake up this morning with this, call from spirit to read on a topic like this. Things that you need to stop doing going forward. It does say 2024, but just going forward, period. Things you need to look into, as far as, discontinuing. And this reading, while it could be potentially, triggering, could also be very positive. So just keep an open mind, an open heart, and let's go forward with it. So let's start. I'm going to, first, I'm drawing from many different decks, so just be very patient. You were gravitated towards the staff. You will be taken care of in difficult times. I felt like when I drew that card, it was saying to those that have chosen this pile that, hey, whatever comes out today, don't worry. You've got a great team behind you. Not only that, with the staff, I feel like you've got the power. You really got the power. You're aware of your power. And that probably is also what, makes you so lucky, makes you also, this type of person who just can get through anything, because the staff is something that usually people tend to kind of hold. I feel like it comes a lot within, the power from the staff comes a lot from, within that person holding them, the staff. So I do feel like you carry a lot of the power. I think you're going to be okay through this reading. I really do. But Spirit wants you to know that, hey, even though this is a reading about what you should stop, you're also doing pretty well. Okay. And you need to know that. So just take the reading with a grain of salt, be very open, and understand that sometimes we do need to hear some things. But for the most part, I think you're going to be great. You're going to be fine. Okay. So let's get into this reading. Let's shuffle these cards. Let's channel everybody who's watching within group 1. Let's get an overview message from these cards, and then we'll jump into my oracle cards as to what you need to stop doing from this moment forward. The moment that you catch this reading, what does everybody in group 1, we're channeling every person, what do they need to stop doing from this moment forward? What do you need to stop doing, group 1, going forward from this moment? More on the Two of Swords, more on the Hermit, more on the Ace of Swords, more on the Five of Swords, more on the Page of Cups, and more on the Queen of Swords. Okay, so I am getting a lot of messages already. I feel like here we have people who tend to wear their heart on their sleeve with this pile. I feel like what you need to stop doing from here on out is trying to force particular relationships that are supposed to be going, okay? I feel like this comes from a really good place. Like, I really want to be very sensitive with this pile because I feel like here you take great pride in your kindness, but I feel like there are a lot of things that need to be walked away from. And it may not just be people, it could be environments, things that no longer serve you. I do get this image of this group where you tend to be like, I don't know if you're like a mediator as well. You tend to like to mediate, or try your best to kind of like turn chaos into, happiness, or try your best to kind of navigate through that. I don't feel like with this pile, you kind of like to just walk away right away. You're not the cutoff type, like immediately. You try to see, I feel like, all angles, but Spirit is saying that at the moment of this reading, there are things that you are dragging. Now, if that doesn't resonate, just don't click off. I've got way more cards to pull. But some of you, and I get that it could be very tricky, you know, these situations to walk away from, but I feel like here, something is starting to feel like it's getting maxed out. And maybe it's that you worry about what will happen if you do end these things, and you do have the stuff. So I'm always going to incorporate that because you were gravitated towards it for a certain reason. What you choose to do, whatever you choose to do moving forward, even though you don't know sometimes if it's a risk or if it's exactly what you should be doing, you will be taken care of in those difficult times. But I do feel like boundaries need to be created with that Queen of Swords. And I do feel like you try, but I'm sensing that real good heart here, that real good heart, you know. You may even feel like sometimes your humanitarian ways or your light worker ways get the best of you. And I understand that, you know, for a long time in my life, I had to really draw a line, you know, because I feel like here with the Hermit, you like to be a healer, and that can come in all sorts of ways. If it's just even a kind word, or talking to somebody, or allowing someone to feel like open with you or call you. But I feel like you're giving a little too much of your energy and your power away. And again, you know, if you want to know how this is going to resonate with you, think about what that means for you. What is the first person or situation that comes to mind as I'm saying these things? Is it your work? Is it like a friend that needs to go? Is it like a client? Is it situations? You tend to, I feel like with this pile as well, see your enemies very clearly, but I don't know. I don't know if there's a wanting to win them over, or like, you know that phrase, keep your enemies closer because at least you'll know what they're up to. That's a mentality that needs to be, I feel like, squashed. You need to make choices. There's a lot of people who have chosen this pile who need to make choices and believe, I feel like, in, you know, a higher power, or that, you know, something's got your back. I feel like with this, though, this could also be a problem with the Hierophant too, because maybe a lot of you are struggling between maybe being a good person and I don't know, it's a tradition, it's a traditional religion. Maybe it's like a kind, you know, it's like a religious thing. Some of you, like, it's like, well, you know, what would God do? You know? But with the Hierophant, this could also be like, you know, I feel like you're teetering with the Two of Pentacles between two faiths, or you incorporate your faith into kind of like the way that you behave, and maybe you just want to be really nice about it. Maybe you want to be forgiving. It's all of that for me. But again, with the Hierophant, I feel like this could also be somebody who's watching, who is struggling with situations that have something to do with tradition. So maybe it is like something that, you know, is expected of you, or it's like a crowd that you should be around, which could be like family. And it's like, well, I can't do that to my family, right? But I just, with this general overview, I'm feeling like this is blocking a bit of your progression. And I understand with the Two of Swords, because Two of Swords doesn't really know what to do. You know, they've got two paths they can walk, but they don't have enough information. So I do want to say, be patient with yourself. Even though you are receiving this reading, you will figure it out in time. And, you know, no one should be judged for, you know, their actions. People will walk away and make choices and decisions when they're ready. You may not be completely ready at the time of receiving this reading, but I want you to know that it will come. There will be a day that comes, and you will remember this reading. And a lot of these decisions could be very uncomfortable. It's like unknown territory. And that's why I also believe that you got the staff, because it's just there from Spirit to say, hey, like, don't worry. Everything on the other side of this is going to be bliss. Okay, it's going to be fine. Let's get into more. Let's find out more. I'm going to, again, draw from these cards. So let's just get a good shuffle on as to what you need to be aware of today, what you need to stop doing from this moment forward, or at least look at, okay? Let's just get a good shuffle for everybody who's watching in group 1. What does group 1 need to stop doing going forward? Goldfish. Increase in material wealth or spiritual growth. Okay. I feel like I have to read these cards dependent on, the topic. So I feel like here, for some of you, there could be a block. And I get how this could be like the spiritual growth, because see with that 3 of Wands, I feel like Spirit wants to move you forward. They want to move you into different directions, but I feel like something needs to go. Something you're still pouring into with that Page of Cups. There needs to be like a closing. And again, this is a general reading, so I don't know what it's going to mean to you. But think of the first thing that came to your head that in your gut you need to walk away from. It's somewhat blocking material wealth and or spiritual growth. Okay, that's something that it is affecting. But again, this is not like a type of like a doom and gloom reading. Like you're going to get through it. Just don't think I'm saying that you won't. More. Target, a goal-oriented person. Okay. I think with that target, with that dartboard, I think here you could be very persistent. And that's what was coming through, I feel like, again, about the way that you are maybe looking at these situations. Like you've got a goal regarding them. And for some of you, it could be making this thing work, Like you are a goal-oriented person. It's a great characteristic to have. But I feel like when it comes to the things that need to go, you're kind of like applying that and you're persisting with that when it should be, I feel like, left alone or discarded of. So be careful with like, and I can't find the word, unnecessary, like you're kind of applying your good traits to like situations that I feel like should not be applied to. And that could be even a stubbornness thing. And listen, again, I want to be very sensitive. I really do feel like you have the best of intentions here, the best heart. Really wanting to, again, try to fix whatever you're trying to fix. But you need to know when is going to be like that time to let go. Stop. Maybe if your gut is telling you to stop, maybe stop like resisting that. Okay. More. Psychic ability and trust your intuition. Did I not just say that? I feel like a lot of you need to, you guys are so psychic, and I feel like Spirit's working overtime to give you that insight. And listen, again, I want to be very sensitive because I understand it takes time. It really does take time to kind of move fully into that power where you just trust your intuition completely. I feel like though we need to work towards really, really believing it, because I do feel like with this pile, there's a lot of intuition coming through. But I feel like there's also aspects of you, like again, trying to be persistent, but it's like you're using I'm hearing that you're using your great qualities, like this great quality about you of persistence and dedication, maybe in the wrong situations, okay? Or towards the wrong people, the people that should kind of fall away, or the situations that fall away. And I wouldn't be surprised if we have some people here who are applying it to their work. Maybe there's a lot of like, I can make this work. I can make this work, or whatever it is. I can make this work. I can do this. Like you're really overachieving and you're doing so much when the other side is not even doing that, not even trying as hard as you, I feel like. Okay, I'm going to go with one more. We'll do 4 from this teapot. Deep friendship with someone of the same sex. Okay, I feel like here with the teapot, it is brewing. Some of you, this could be a very specific message that there is a friendship that I feel like it's teetering on the point of, there's smoke, it's hot, it's just getting to be too much. There could have been a lot of gossip involved with this situation. With the teapot, teapots always symbolize gossip. Maybe there is something that you don't trust about this person, that maybe this person's gossiping about you. But regardless, I do feel like there is a friendship that has been deep, and maybe that's what this is about, you know, trying to kind of remember that, you know, like, well, this person, I've known them forever, you know, I can make it work. Listen, it could just even be with other people. Like, let's say you're a woman watching, it could just be that this is also how you approach like friendships with women. It is the same sex, so I do feel like it is about that. But it could be a lot about, you know, maybe these forced friendships or these forced bonds that you're trying to have. Maybe there's something about not seeing those things clearly. Spirit wants you to stop doing this going forward. And if you tend to feel like maybe you just, I don't know, it's hard for you, maybe you want to be surrounded by people, that's also, I feel like, something that could be for somebody. Don't be scared to be alone. Don't be scared to be alone, I'm hearing. Okay, let's move on. Let's get some cards from this deck as to what you need to stop doing now or for 2024. Same thing. We're going to draw 5 cards from this deck. What does pile 1? Let's channel everybody who's watching in pile 1. What do they need to stop doing from this moment forward? Bring forth the messages they need to hear at this time, not the messages they want to hear. And please bring it forth in a very clear and direct way so that I, as the interpreter, can interpret it to them. Okay, so we've got insincere. I think you guys are extremely psychic. I think you can see right through people. But again, like, I don't know. There's something here. It's a block, and it could be, you know, for some of you, a particular person that you're seeing right through, but why are you foreseeing this? Or it could be even, hey, this may not even be something that's happening right now. Maybe this is you also being able to see that insincerity everywhere you go. You're so psychic, but you tend to, I don't know, give the chances. This could be about something to do with your personality. And it would obviously, you know, talk about, you know, second guessing yourself, but I think there needs to be some sort of, and I'm glad this is coming out. I'm glad I was doing this reading in January because it's a new year. And I feel like going forward, Spirit doesn't want you doing this anymore. They're trying to actually, I feel like, save you from a lot of things. Now they are being patient with you. You know, Spirit loves you. This is not a judgment thing, but please, please stop doing this, okay? You know everything. You could look at somebody from 5 miles away and smell their BS, or you could look at them, but maybe there's like a couple people who get to sneak in. You know, they sneak in, and it's like maybe you're constantly being hurt, or maybe you are being hurt. Maybe there's someone right now. But I feel like this is just an overall, you know, just general theme as well for a lot of you. And again, I do want to be sensitive because I feel like you guys come from a good place. You really do. You love to think the best about everything, and that is the way to go, but with discernment. Like with that Queen of Swords, we need discernment a bit, okay? More. This cat got 9 lives. Some of you need to stop being so reckless, okay? That one for me, maybe even we're talking about another group of people. I am seeing like, that could just be for one person, but I am seeing like wild driving. Spirit wants you to know that, like, listen, like, I don't know, it could just be you. It could be your personality. You know, you could like to have fun. I don't know what this is. There is a recklessness though. I did hear the word recklessness. You need to, I feel like, stop doing this because maybe you've gone adjusted. Maybe there are some people here who are watching who are just like, yeah, I'm never going to die. I'm going to live till like 90. And I'm not saying that you won't, okay? But this mentality, it's, I feel like borderline to a point of dangerousness, okay? And that could be with anything. Maybe you tend to overeat and you really don't care about the precautions of that. Or whatever, you know, think of the first thing again as the viewer, because you do need to participate in these readings as much as me and see how that matches up to your life. But I feel like And I don't want you to get confused. I'm not saying anyone's going to pass away, but Spirit wants you to be more careful. And that could be even about this situation, you know, because maybe you've been so hurt, but you keep getting hurt. And it's like, how much can someone take, you know? But I do feel like there is a recklessness. Someone here could even be a bit of like a thrill seeker. Weird. I just saw something else. It could be for one person. I don't know if there's one person who likes to walk. I don't know if this is symbology. It's like, you know, those rooftops with the, you know, when you walk on the line, but like, you know, if you were to go over, you would just, you know, fall. I'm seeing somebody who could be very like, I don't even know what that's called because I'm not like that whatsoever. I wouldn't even go near a ledge, but I feel like there are some people who are just, again, thrill seekers, like to kind of walk on the wild side. I want you to slow down a bit with that, okay? And I can't say anything about this. You know, I'm not going to sit here on a reading and say, oh, you know, something could happen. I'm not even being called to go that far, but I think you understand what I'm saying. You should get what I'm saying if that resonates with you. More. Leveling up. So this, I feel like, has a lot to do with that goldfish card that I had. Some of you, if you've been wondering what has been stopping the leveling up, okay, and I'm not talking about the recklessness anymore. I'm just talking about, you know, generally, I think there could be a lot of people here who are wondering when their day will come. You know, when they will feel like they're leveling up, when will they be making it in life? There could be some things that, again, you are doing in your life particularly that could be blocking that. If you do feel like there's a block, if you do feel like things have been taking forever, I feel like here, there is something that is stopping that. Now, I'm not saying that it will never get corrected. Regardless of the reading, you will get through this. Listen, you don't ever need a reading, okay? Spirit will give you all of your, you know, messages, bit by bit, drip by drip. You will get it. You will get it. But I feel like as for right now, if you are watching and you're like, you've got some issues, or you would say, if you could, to somebody like, I don't know why this is not coming quicker. I don't know why this is not happening for me. Be patient. You are on the way of leveling up, but right now you could just be sorting through some things to get that out of the way in order to level up. So just, if these things, messages like resonate with you, just take them. Don't get upset. Just take them. Contemplate on them after. Think about, like, you know, does that make sense? If that really does make sense to you, things I've mentioned, then just work towards those things. And I guarantee you that leveling up will come. It will come. Now that's a 14, which equals to a 5. Change needs to be made. There are some changes, and like, nobody levels up without making changes in their life. Okay. I had to make a million. Okay. One of them was saying no. Saying no, putting myself first, stop being so nice. Maybe you resonate with that. Okay. More. Truth lives. Some of you have been wanting to speak your truth. Some of you, I feel like there's like a stifling on truth. The card is truth lives. And what Spirit wants you to stop doing is holding back your truth. A lot of you, like, I feel like I can't even breathe right now because maybe you've like been hated for it. Maybe you are a truth teller. Maybe you've been hated for that. Maybe you're even at the time of getting this reading, been thinking or second guessing on whether you should keep it to yourself. No, And that's not how you get anything in life. Now, I'm not saying that you should be rude or, you know, throw your opinions on people who are definitely not asking for it, okay? But if you're in a situation where you are being called to speak your truth, you need to. A lot of people, I feel like I'm getting a big crowd with this one who are just really second guessing, because I feel like with a lot of you, maybe you've always been that way, but maybe a lot of you have been facing backlash for that. Spirit's saying, don't even go there. Don't even go into that place. You need to continue with this. There's something very freeing about that as well, too. And I am getting now another set of people who may have something they need to speak about. There is something maybe that has been done to them, or something that they know. And if they were to get that off of their chest or tell somebody or speak it, it would be a very freeing experience. And maybe, like, again, all these things I'm saying lead to the leveling up. If that resonates with you, you need to stop holding back. Stop holding back. And that could be in so much ways. So many different ways. Just go with whatever resonates with you. Okay, let's get more. Dismissive. Now, this is interesting. Some of you actually, now this is another group of people, need to actually shut your mouth to a lot of people. Maybe a particular person or a group of people, a situation. Some of you, I feel like, are saying too much to the wrong people. And I am getting this energy of the crowd that you're speaking to, or the other person who's not there really like as a cheerer or a supporter. I would really hope that, nobody's sharing their creativeness or ideas, because guys, that's a real thing. Okay. Don't ever tell anybody what your next move is. I feel like a lot of you, it's so funny. We've got two sets of people here. We had some people who needed to speak out, but that's a truth. That's nothing to do with what I'm picking up here, actually. So this may apply to you too. Some of you need to stop talking about what you're doing with others. Those people that you're speaking to, they're not for you. They may outwardly show like they are, but again, that psychic intuition is coming through. So I feel like you know this. Now, we all, I feel like, have to also, learn that. Again, I did feel a very beautiful soul, a very beautiful person. And again, you would like to think the best in people. But that's just not what it is, guys. And especially, I think you are on the way of leveling up. And when you're leveling up, whether, you tell people or not, they can feel that. And they can get very triggered by it. You're doing better than them in whatever way, okay? Even if it's that you love yourself, maybe they don't love themselves, etc., etc. Some of you need to shh, okay? You should know who these people are. They're the ones that don't say anything back, really, or, maybe it's the way that they respond. You pick up an energy or a tone. Oh, yeah, that's great, because you're psychic. Be quiet, okay? Some of you need to stop telling your next move to people or what you're about to do. It's actually blocking, okay? It could be a block because people throw their energy on that. They do. They really do. Okay, let's move on to another deck. Let's pull two from here. My beautiful Brittany Carmichael deck. What does group one need to be aware of as far as what they need to stop doing from this moment forward? Let go of control and relax into flow. I am being pulled back to that goal-oriented person. That limp hand on the card is very symbolic for me. A lot of you are getting very tired trying to control your life to some degree. There needs to be a letting go of control. I really am being drawn to this target card, a goal-oriented person. A lot of you are extremely tired of really trying your best to show up as this person, trying to kind of achieve everything. I just feel like here, you're taking on too much. You need to actually maybe even move more into believing that there's a higher power to get help. I feel like with a lot of you, it's just like you, and all you see is you and how you're going to do this all. You will be taken care of in difficult times. There's help. There's help in, on the way. It's been there. I feel like a lot of you need to wake up to that and stop being so hard on yourself and stop trying to like micromanage yourself or like do all things possible. You need to let go of control. Okay. That's a very general message for me. But this is very interesting because that Two of Pentacles, that person takes on a lot. Okay. You know, maybe you care about a lot of people. Maybe you are everybody's caretaker. Why are you doing this? Why? Spirit wants to know. You should also be making, I feel like, your own space also, you know, a priority. I do feel like with this group, again, like it's just, you know, the mediator I'm hearing or the caretaker. Please, please take care of yourself, okay? Please take care of yourself. I feel like this group is doing a lot. I'm actually getting a headache. And I'm wondering if a lot of you guys get headaches because of just how much you're thinking about things that may never even happen. Give me one more from this deck. Unleash your inner wild child, get up and dance. Okay, so you need to stop, I feel like, being maybe so serious. Or, you know, again, that goal-oriented person is coming out. So I don't know if you tend to, you know, have all work and no fun. But you need to let loose a bit, really. Be silly. Go out. I'm seeing rain. Get into the rain. Dance in the rain. You know, your health and your peace of mind is coming through in this rain as a top priority. It needs to be all about you. F all these other people. F this work situation. F that. F this. I'm hearing that. Like, it's just, no, it needs to be about you. It needs to really be about you. But like your mental health, your peace, you know, I am hearing for some of you, you used to be like that, but what happened to that person? What happened to them? Maybe you've lost yourself for a bit. Some of you really used to be like that. And it just, I don't know what happened. It went away or you got caught up in life. But listen, the goal for you is psychic intuition that's leading you towards this leveling up. And I feel like there's a lot of busy energy with this group. Like there's a lot of people around or toxicity that needs to go. Stop pouring your cups, you know, this Page of Cups into that. Stop it. Are they pouring it into you? Are they pouring it back? You know, whenever you're trying to make anything work, it needs to be two equal energies coming towards each other, or then it's just never going to work. It's never, not one person can carry the whole thing. No. And I feel like with this group, I wouldn't be surprised as you level up, you lose a lot of people. You probably have lost a lot of people. Okay, let's get 2 cards from this deck as to what you need to stop doing from this day forward. Take a leap of faith into the unknown. Okay. Some of you, again, this is coming back to, again, you know, removing particular things or ending particular things. You will be taken care of in difficult times. I'm going to reiterate that. You've got the power to really move yourself in, you know, ways that you would be shocked. You just maybe haven't, you know, come to that conclusion yet. Or, you know, maybe you like things a particular way. You like, you know, security. You like the known. Well, guess what? Spirit's like, stop resisting change. Stop resisting this leap of faith that you know you're being called into. But I do feel like it's not just about, you know, jumping off of like a mountain, you know, bungee jumping. I do feel like it's about, you know, removing the toxicity. That could be very hard for you because, again, I do feel that special, unique soul coming through who's just really, you know, just really beautiful. You have such a good heart, and I want you to know that those others, they know that, and I think they're manipulating you. I really do. I think those people can sense it and are just really using it to their advantage. But take the leap of faith into the unknown. If there is something that you've been wanting to do as well too, whatever that may be, if it's, you know, start a business or try something new or move away, like you got to go for it. Okay, Spirit's encouraging that. And when you do that, again, you will be taken care of in difficult times. Spirit's with you this whole way. More. You are spiritually connected to those you love. So I think with this group, you know, it's so important with that staff because, again, I think maybe a lot of you do not know how powerful you are. You may think you're powerful, but I think you're so powerful. More powerful than you would ever realize. And it could be shocking of like what you could actually manifest just inside your mind. Stop being afraid of that, okay? I want you to know that even if you do decide to, you know, end connections or end, you know, things that no longer serve you, you're still spiritually connected. It's not like it has to be as bad as, you know, maybe you're making it out to be. But I want you to know that you're also very spiritually connected to your team, to your ancestors, to your loved ones on the other side. And they're all helping you through this. So listen, the main goal I feel like for you in your life is the leveling up. But I just feel like there's a few tweaks here and there that need to be had. Hopefully this reading did make you see a lot of those things that you already knew about, okay? I really do wish you all the best moving forward. And I really hope that you were able to take this, you know, in a way that was helpful, okay? I never meant to be judgmental with this reading or hurt anybody's feelings. But if it did make sense, let me know in the comment section. I would love to know. I wish you all the best, guys. Take care. Hi, group 2, those that were attracted to this card, this will be your reading. But before we start, a couple of things to note. If you would like to book a personal reading with me, you can find that link within the comment section, as well as a description box. But please go to the comment section. I do have a pinned comment there, which lays out all my links to my second channel, as well as to my Patreon platform. I have just filmed a reading on what has went down in Miami. If you don't know, you can know, just go sign up over there, as well as I also incorporated a reading on Cat Williams. We all know he's making waves right now. I do read on world readings. I don't just read on these types of readings. So if you're interested in that, go check it out. It doesn't hurt. As well as if you do like my readings, my style of content, I don't want you missing out on a reading from me. So please make sure that you are subscribing and you're hitting all notifications. That goes for pre-existing subscribers as well. So one thing I do want to say as a disclaimer before I start pulling cards is that, listen, this reading could get very triggering. It may not be for your pile, but I hope you didn't skip the intro because, you know, a lot of people tend to kind of not pick particular piles or cards depending on what the, you know, message is on the front or the imagery. That doesn't necessarily mean that your reading will be negative. So just don't worry. Keep in mind, an open heart, and just be open to whatever comes through. You may be pleasantly surprised. But if you were attracted to this pile, let's incorporate this card. The first thing I'm kind of feeling with this is that I heard that people could be siphoning your energy. People could be around you who are extremely greedy of your time, greedy of your energy. It's interesting with this card because I just like, do you see the way the pig looks on the card? Like he's just kind of like in the bush scoping out somebody. I just felt like maybe the circle that you have around you could be kind of like, I'm hearing the word deadly. I don't know what that means, but we will find out more. But this definitely is a warning. Beware is obviously a warning, but beware of greed. Let's find out more. And I will incorporate that card often through my readings. So just bear with me, be patient. I know everybody likes everything quick these days, but with my readings, you're going to get an in-depth, detailed, accurate reading. Okay, so just give me time to be able to produce that. So let's channel your energy into the cards. Everybody who's watching in group 2, every single person who's watching in group 2, Spirit, bring forth the messages they need to hear at this time, not the messages they want to hear. And please bring it forth in a very clear and direct way so that I, as the interpreter, can interpret it to them. What do you want them to stop doing from here on out? What message? So I'm going to get a general overview as to what's going on with these cards, and then we're going to pull from the Oracle decks. What do you want group 2, everybody who has, chosen this pile, to stop doing from here on out? More on the 10 of Cups, more on the Lovers, more on the Tower, more on the 2 of Pentacles, more on the Death, and more on the 3 of Cups. So we got a lot of female energy, a lot of like feminine energy within this pile. I don't care what you resonate as. It's a lot of female divine feminine energy. And I feel like here you're being called. I feel like Spirit's really trying to get your attention through this reading, because some of you, I feel like, are really not doing well. And I feel like I want to use the word ill. And I don't know that you're necessarily unhealthy, but I feel like here things don't have to be as bad as they are. There is a lot of chaos within this spread. A lot of like change, a lot of busy energy, a lot of boomerangs, a lot of like, I feel like lessons are happening right now. And I am hearing for some of you, like it's a new year, but this SHIT is still continuing. It's just, I don't know if I'm dealing with people here who have been living a very tumultuous life, like just a lot of surprises with the Tower, I'm almost feeling like a wanting to give up, like really throw my hands up and just be like, I don't care. I don't even know if I can care anymore. I don't know what I can do about this. I don't really know, like, it's almost like a giving up energy. What Spirit wants you to stop doing is maybe being a little too negative about like your particular life path, because I feel like here there's a lot on your plate by design. I am hearing by design, but I feel like here it's like you're a soldier. If anybody could have like handled it, it was you. Like you're actually more stronger than you think. But I feel like here there's something you need to give up on with the Death card. Something you've been holding on to for a while. And listen, if you are like dreaming big, I'm not talking about your dreams. I'm talking about something that I feel like it's haunted you for a while. It could even be like a trauma with the Death card. There's something of a releasing. It needs to be released. You need to pray on it. And if you have been praying on it, then good for you. And I just want to be very, careful here. I'm not trying to be insensitive. I understand life is, can be very difficult, but I feel like here there's a lot of skeletons in the closet with this group. Maybe even things that, just things you cannot speak about. Because I feel like with that Queen of Pentacles, you've done a good job at like, I feel like trying to kind of like, suppress it in a way, or like try your best to kind of like, be patient about it and, let it kind of go on its own. But I am going to say with the Queen of Pentacles, there is something that you're holding on to with this. Because she will hold on. You see that pentacle in her lap? She will hold on to this. She's looking at it. She's like putting a lot of energy into this. Okay. There is something though, and it could be that you're waiting on something to happen. It could even be like revenge. This needs to be released. And it's not that like you need to just let it go because you need to let it go. I feel like if you want it to come even towards you, it should be also let go, because maybe there's something with that pentacle energy that keeps it kind of stifled in a way, like blocked. But there's so much coming at me right now. I can't even, it's like a projector in my mind and I just can't get it to stop. It's just moving so fast. There's just so much with this pile. I wouldn't be surprised if a lot of people picked it. It's so much. Oh my goodness. My head is spinning actually. The next thing I'm feeling is that there could be something about my nerves. My nerves are shot. My temperament could be a little up and down. I feel like here Spirit's saying you need to rest, okay? With that Four of Swords. You need to rest. You need to go off somewhere. You need to do something different. You need to, I feel like here, stop taking the weight of the world onto your shoulders. And a lot of it is a little bit of your own attitude. It could be that, you know, you just are keep piling things more on, or feel like you can take it on, you can handle it. Yeah, I'm good. I'm good. I'm here. I'm good. I can do this. Don't worry. It's fine. I can do it. And I wouldn't be surprised if this is also a work situation. I just feel like here there's an energy around you that is like literally like usurping or like siphoning. And it's like, I wouldn't be surprised. And that's why I was picking up like the illness if this turns into one. A lot of you, I feel like, who are picking this pile, need to disconnect, need to like pull the cord out of the wall, disconnect, detach. Stop giving your word to everybody. Stop being like, you know, available. I feel like here you are doing it. Listen, with the Temperance, you will figure this out. Okay. You will figure this out. You will move more into this energy. You are moving. Okay. You are leveling up. I can see that here. You're represented by like 4 females, like 4 divine feminines, and they're all like very bad ASS. Okay. You're the Empress. Okay. But I feel like here, there's also a connection. I literally just got cut off from my original thought. That's how fast things are moving here within this pile. There is a connection that has come into your life, okay? What you need to stop doing, I feel like as well too, is overanalyzing this. It came in for a very specific reason with that Judgment. It was an awakening. Now, I'm not saying that you won't be together, okay? Or that if you think like that, you know, if that's what you think about, that it won't culminate. That's not even what the point of what the reading is. It's just that with the Lovers, I just feel like here something could have come in to rock your world. It's another thing that came in that rocked your world, and it literally caused an awakening with the Judgment card. It was just, it rocked your whole world. I'm feeling this tight grip around it. Be careful with that, okay? Spirit wants you to stop doing that. You're kind of blocking also other blessings, because I feel like here with the Wheel of Fortune and the 4 of Wands, there could actually be somebody else who's actually just as much for you as this person. But I just feel like, you know, it's the unknown with the wheel. It's, you know, the unexpected. And maybe you just don't see that. So there's a lot of like things being clouded, like in your visions or in your mind about moving forward because of all this other stuff going on. The other thing I want to say too, with that Queen of Cups, you could be very psychic. You will be if you got this card. I feel like there's an intuition on you that is just like, I'm seeing chef's kiss, okay? That emoji, chef's kiss. You are so powerful, like, you know, you have the power to even attract soul tribe, okay, to you. If there's a lot of worrying about a particular soul tribe, or if people will come into your life, this also needs to be released. There's a lot of like tight energy with this group. A lot of tight energy. But I am going to say as well too, there could be somebody inside your group that you're getting a sneaking suspicion about. And I feel like here you need to also be wary of that. So stop neglecting that psychic, you know, side of you. There could be somebody in your circle that you have a feeling about that you are bang on about, okay? But like, I feel like I have to move on to another deck because there's just so much. I could sit here for like hours just talking about this group. And, you know, with the Pig and the Beware of Greed, I feel like it's just an energy. There's an energy around you at this point in life. And it's coming from all angles. It's coming from your past. It's siphoning your energy. It's coming from maybe, you know, again, life's boomerangs, this connection. Maybe the Empress is also here too, because you also are a mother and you're like getting siphoned, just, you know, like not in a bad way, but like we all know what it's like to be a mother. A lot of us do. It's very draining, you know? But listen, I wouldn't, you know, I'm not trying to bash the moms, okay? Like, you know, this is a blessing in life. But what I mean is, it's just, there's just so much. And I feel like with the Queen of Wands, here you are as this strong person, like, yeah, no problem, pile it on, you know? I can do this, I can do that. And it may not even be that you're actually doing tangible physical things. It could just be that you're like unhealed and being unhealed and taking on more when you should be relaxing. And a lot of this is, I feel like, causing this cause and effect with that Two of Pentacles. It's like just keeps coming back around to you. So with this pile, wow, I gotta move into another deck because this is just, it's a lot. And even as the reader, it's hard. It's hard to keep up with what's happening with this pile because they're showing me so much. And maybe that's very, you know, obviously reflective of maybe like, you know, maybe there's a lot of people that pick this pile and I'm just picking up for every different person. Or we have a lot of people dealing with all these things on their plate. And it's just becoming like, I don't know, so much. It's just too much. But I feel like what Spirit wants to say is like, it starts with you. And stop overburdening yourself. You know, take the time out for yourself. You got to start putting yourself first. So beware of greed, okay? And greed can be an energy, absolutely. It can come in all different ways. Can come through your work. It can come through people. It can come from, you know, other people's energy that's terrible. That's like literally usurping yours or coming onto yours and you feel it. This greed is such a vast thing, okay? So let's try and see what else we can get. I need to move away from this spread, that's for sure. And get more details on what's going on with you. Can I get more for group 2? What does Spirit want them to stop doing as of now? Pale, time to get out of a situation. So listen, participate as the viewer. Okay, it's very important too. What's the first thing you thought about when I said that? It's time to go. It's time to get out of a situation that's no longer serving you. But it could just be even your own thoughts or just anything. Like if you feel like you're becoming unhealthy, if you feel like your environment's not right, if there's someone you need to get away from, like just think about what first came to your mind. But it's time to get out of a situation. And it could just be the way you've been doing things, you know? Take it all different ways. More. Bell, we've got an announcement, okay? I think here, the first thing I felt with that was that this makes me feel like, you know, when you keep doing something and it just gets louder and louder, I feel like here this announcement felt to me like a knock at the door, or like a knock, you know, like that saying, like Jesus throws like a pebble, then he throws a brick, then he throws a thing. Like we don't want to get to that point, okay? I feel like this also has something to do with an announcement that you need to make. Is there some kind of announcement that you would like to make that you're holding back on? You need to stop holding back on it. This could also be reflective of something that needs to be said, you know? Maybe you've been holding back on. No, you need to say it. Yeah. But I felt like when I first saw that card, this felt to me like you're going to get a message very clear very soon if you keep going like this. And it may not be the best, okay, type of message. I understand that. I've dealt with that in my life. You know, I didn't listen when my intuition was talking. Then it came and it was like, great, now I got to deal with this. You know, maybe that's what that's been like for you. Maybe it's been like that for you. Maybe you've been getting these, and maybe that's also reflective of the reading. Like, hey guys, we've been trying to reach you. You know, Spirit has been trying to reach you, been trying to send you those messages, like trying to make it louder and louder for you. More. Heartache over what you no longer have. So we have a spear. This message, I feel like, is going to be a little bit, I'm really saying this with all love. It's time to get over something that's not working. Not only that, if you no longer have something, and I know that's very difficult. I'm trying to be very sensitive. I had that with like a previous job that I loved. Spirit was like, yeah, you're not doing this anymore. You're not going there anymore. You're now moving in a new direction. That took me like 2 years to get over. But be patient with yourself. I'm in no way saying that with this reading that you have to like move tomorrow. Be patient. I'm just trying to give the messages so that you can hear them like loud, you know? Sometimes when we say it's soft and we say it's fluffy, it doesn't come through to the viewer, okay? So I'm just trying to be very precise here so that you hear it. Some of you are in a heartache over something or someone you no longer have, okay? Whatever you don't have that is just aching at you. Spirit wants you to stop and reflect and just release, okay? Release this. It's not doing you any good. I feel like you are suffering. Like, you know, just look at the image of this. That dagger inside the heart. It's just, it looks painful to me, right? More. Broken bridge. Unsuccessful outcome to a problem. I wonder here if you have recently broken bridges or, you know, like, isn't that symbolic of when you cut a connection? Or it could be literally that like whatever you wanted did not come out. Now, listen, something tells me this is in your favor, okay? It's raining on the card. It's just miserable. It's just terrible. You didn't get what you wanted, okay? You did not get what you wanted. But I feel like that's not it. It's not the end of the day. There needs to be more reflection on, I feel like, you know, moving forward. And that's what I felt like here. Something has left with the death card and you're holding on to it. And it could be like causing you illness, you know, pain. You got to release whatever did not work out for you. Okay. And I feel like as the viewer, obviously that's going to vary person to person, but you should know what I'm talking about. It should kind of pop up in your mind right away and be like, yes, I know what she's talking about. That's what it is for you personally. Let bygones be bygones and let these things lie. Release them. Okay. Let's move on and get 5 cards now from this deck. I feel like with this, you know, I've been kind of like not wanting to say what I've been wanting to say because I don't know how it's going to come out. But I feel like, listen, I have to say it. Just don't come for me, okay? I'm just the messenger. Some of you may be being greedy with these situations, okay? Instead to let go and let God or whoever you pray to, I feel like a lot of you are holding something close to you and you're being just the energetic energy of greedy, okay? I think there's something for some of you that you really, really want and you're like, I don't care, I'm gonna get it. But maybe you deep down, you're not seeing clearly that, you know, listen, there's a chance that this may not be for you. So please try your best to release. But I don't know how that's going to come out to people. Don't take me the wrong way. I don't mean any, you know, ill thoughts towards you, or I'm not trying to be mean, you know. I'm not saying you can't have whatever you desire, but when it comes to manifestations and affirmations, if you don't get it, it's not for you, okay? And usually there's something better. So like, let's say, for example, it's this connection. I feel like here you've got another chance. There's something here that's weighing in the winds that's equally as good. But yeah, I don't know how. I'd probably lost a bunch of people at this point. Oh well, you know, oh well. Okay. Like I always say, guys, you know, when it comes to these messages that come through, You know, if I start not, you know, delivering them, I can lose my gift very easily. Okay. So I'm not going to do that. But I mean my messages with all love. I mean to say them with all love. Okay. Let's get 5 cards now on what Spirit wants you to be aware of. Okay. On what you need to stop doing right now. Okay. So you've got lessons learned. There's a karmic lesson here. I feel like here your time is finished with something. Your soul contract is finished with something. Lessons have been learned. Whatever you were supposed to do, whether it be a situation, a place, or, you know, something with someone, you've learned them. It's time to move on. Okay. In a way, this is a good thing, but I feel like there's a lot of people who are not going to really take it that way. You know, I feel like you're holding on to something that it should be released. You've done your part. You did the best you could. Lessons have been learned. And if it's very painful, you know, let's say it's your mother, you know, it's the same thing. Just apply it to your life. But I don't know. I just get like a moving on energy. Like we need to move on. We need to understand we did the best we could. We tried our best, you know. It may not be in the cards. Okay. More. Taking the elevator instead of the stairs. So some of you need to slow down. It's funny with these cards, you know, you have to incorporate it into the topic, right? Usually this card is really positive for me, but I feel like for some of you, you're just moving way too quickly. Just, you know, maybe even becoming a little reckless. And I feel like you are taking on a lot, but I feel like a lot of you could be trying to get to the top in a way that could be, you know, I'm hearing slow down, stop rushing. You know, I don't like this Tower card, okay? This could be, you know, just chaos. And maybe you're just adding more. Maybe you're trying to overachieve. You know, overachieving can be, you know, also with that too. Taking the elevator, just wanting to take the elevator, just wanting to get there very quick. You know, like you want to get to your destination spot. I get it. I get it with this pile. I could see here you have goals. You want to be somewhere. You want to do something. You want your channel to blow up. You want, you know, just giving examples. You want, you know, to move up in the company. Slow down, okay? One thing that is like a real great life lesson, you know, on this earth plane is just to like chill. Slow and steady wins the race just as fast as anybody else, okay? It doesn't mean because you're going a little slower or that you should go a little slower that you won't get to the top. So please just relax a bit, okay? More. Okay, so trust your intuition. I feel like for some of you, listen, if you feel like you are listening to your intuition, this makes all sense. You've been doing that, then great for you. But others of you need to trust in your intuition a lot more. I am hearing that for some of you, there could be good things happening, but you don't believe it. You don't necessarily believe it. It's just skeptical. Maybe this whole thing is skeptical. Maybe the fact that you're here on this reading and you're like, I'm watching tarot readings now. Like this is skeptic. This is suspicious, you know? I am equating suspicious energy to this card. So I feel like a lot of you, maybe even when something good happens, you second guess it. You wonder if this is like for you. Is this real? Don't do that. The Spirit's like, stop, just stop. This is very real. You're on a spiritual journey. Yeah, you're in this now. You're in this now. And maybe a lot of you are questioning even like, you know, your awakening process and like, was this worth it? It is, but please trust this intuition of yours. Trust also too that I am your intuition, Spirit is saying. And that when I make these things or I allow these things, these good things to happen to you, for you, you know, these great things that come into your life, don't second guess it. You almost take the fun out of it in a way, okay? You do. So just allow these things to flow in. Allow these good things to happen for you. Because good things are coming for you, group 2. They are. I do sense that. And this could even be a future timeline for you, you know, in the future going forward. When this starts happening for you, please believe it. And it is a 55 card, which reduces to like a 10, which could be endings, but then it reduces to a 1. So it causes a beginning. So when these endings happen, or if there's nothing happening, or something's coming to a close, trust that it reduces to a 1 and it becomes like a new beginning. Some of you may be struggling with these closed doors more. Oh, we got 2. Why are they stuck together? That is so weird. Okay, I have gratitude. Kind of funny, that's opposite of greed, right? Kind of interesting, that's the opposite of greed. And it reduces to a 14, which is a 5. So I feel like here, there needs to be more focus. Okay, and listen, if you are practicing that, great for you. Don't take that as I'm saying you're ungrateful. But I feel like here you could always improve. Everybody could always improve with this, being grateful. Spirit wants you to do this because it's going to attract in a better, life for you. Okay. But if you're doing that, keep doing that. But what they want you to stop doing, I feel like is very tied into trust your intuition, or maybe even this whole gratitude thing. Is it real? Like, I'm so grateful. Like, why isn't anything happening? Maybe there's a lot of like questioning around this gratitude thing. Is this real? Or, I'm such a great person. Why is this not happening for me? I'm so grateful. Don't question that, okay? Don't question that. Stick through it. Things take time. And look at this. She has the crashing waves in front of her, right? So I feel like your life has been one big crashing wave. But guess what? You're going to like do well. You always do well. You're still here. A lot of you have, like, again, I'm going to say, have led very tumultuous lifestyles or lives, okay? But you're still here. You're still here going strong. And, that crashing wave, like, she's ready for it, So maybe there has to be something also to just set right about, intentions or thoughts or attitudes. You know what I mean? But stop, I feel like, here with the gratitude of, like, not believing in this. Sometimes it takes time. I just want to look at that card a little bit more to see what else I get. Okay, listen, I'm going to say something again that could be very triggering for some of you. If that doesn't apply to you, if that doesn't resonate when I say it, don't take it that way. It's not for you. But some of you, because I'm getting this card mixed with the pig, the beware of greed, some of you do need to focus on being more grateful. Maybe you're not really like in tune with that yet. The more grateful you are is the more you attract. But some of you could maybe not even be in that space. It's just give me, give me, give me. I want, I want, I want. Have you practiced gratitude for even what you have right now? And again, I'm going to say, if that doesn't resonate with you, do not click off. I get all sorts of people here watching, and some people need to hear that. This card, wow, we've got physical assault, okay? Some of you, I feel like, are very harsh on yourself. Now, I am going to say again, because this is a reading for thousands, if some of you are dealing with this, like physical assault, you need to get out of this. That's going to be a very sincere message for maybe a couple, because again, there's thousands watching. If you're dealing with physical assault, it's time to stop this charade, okay? You don't deserve it, okay? You do not deserve it. But some of you, I do feel like this could apply to like how you treat yourself. And I'm not saying that, you're physically hurting yourself, although some of you maybe, I don't know, right? But if it's emotionally, if it's how you speak to yourself, it can be like that. Did I not pick up at the beginning of this reading that I felt like, if you don't take care with this, whatever applies to you, it could manifest physically? Wow, this pile is pretty deep. Let me know if this is like resonating with you. I don't want to spend too much time on that because I know and I can tell and I can feel how triggering that will be for some. Listen, again, if that doesn't apply to you, just gloss over it, okay? Let us get 2 cards from this Brittany Carmichael deck now on what Spirit wants you to stop doing. I feel like this pig card, again, the beware of greed, also I feel like has a lot to do with how you're dispensing yourself. Like you need to be more, like you need to be treating yourself more as a prized possession. If you're allowing people to walk over you, or if you're allowing people to just put more on your plate, whatever that makes sense. You know, if you're exuding yourself, exhausting yourself for others, again, that could also be that people are energetically, you know, just taking and being also very greedy. I'm going to want anybody who chose this pile to just comment in the comment section, because this one was extremely deep. So much so that like I feel depleted a bit as a reader, but I also feel like I'm not worried, but I'm concerned on how everybody will take it. So I really hope that you take these messages well. And again, I don't mean anything ill towards you. I'm very sympathetic of life and what it's like to be here. But again, I'm just the messenger. Okay, 2 cards, please, for those that have chosen group 2. What does Spirit want them to do, stop doing right now? You got to start treating yourself better. We've got to treat yourself to something beautiful today. These roses are for you, my loves, okay? I feel like there's a lot of people who could be very emotional right now getting this reading. This is literally like, you know, Spirit just saying here, I know it's been hard to listen to this. It's been very hard to listen to this, but here you go. Like, just take these flowers from me to you. But please also start doing this like to yourself. A lot of you need to start treating yourself yourselves better. You deserve more, you know, appreciation, you know. And if you've been dealing, you know, there's this one person I heard say, I think it was Bashar. Not that I'm too into him. I just heard him say this in a clip. So don't come and tell me what your thoughts of him, because I don't really listen to him. But he was talking about how abundance, you know, like money, you know, when people are struggling with money to attract money, you know, he said there's no coincidence that as you appreciate yourself, that wording is actually in money as well. And the more that you appreciate yourself is the more that you will in the appreciation of money. Like you see how money over time, you know, it grows and it appreciates. It's the same thing like with self. But this is not just about abundance. I feel like here, this is also a message to you. Like Spirit really wants you to stop like devaluating yourself. Like, you know, maybe thinking negative thoughts about yourself. Like just treat yourself better. Like do more fun things for yourself. Buy that lipstick that you like. Take that spa retreatment if you can. You know, just do something that feels good for you. And it doesn't even involve other people. It does not involve other people. You know, go see a movie by yourself. Go do something for yourself. Make yourself feel special. If nobody else is around doing that, or, you know, are being very greedy with you, do it for yourself, honey. Okay? More. Okay, so didn't I just say, like, this is actually really freaky now. I really hope there's a lot of you still with me here. Did you see when I had the 3 of Cups and I said to you, Soul Tribe? Why is there 3 girls on this card as well, too? Okay, now if you're a dude watching, don't worry. You know, this is also for you. It could just be 3 dudes, okay? Soul Tribe is coming. Soul Tribe is coming. I feel like here, Spirit wants you to stop doing all these things so that your soul tribe can come in. They can't find you unless you're in your complete power. And, you know, follow my second channel because I will be posting a video on that soon. I've just talked about why I don't believe friendship exists. And now my next video will be about soul tribe. So you may want to go subscribe so you don't miss out on it. But trust me when I say, as a person who has found mine, you cannot find them or they cannot come in unless you're completely in your authentic self. And I feel like Spirit's trying to get your attention through this reading to get you to stop doing certain things so that you can move more into your authentic self and be genuinely happy. But wow, 3 women and 3 women here. And I said that this card felt like Soul Tribe, right? Wow. I can't believe it. Soul Tribe is there. They're just waiting. Right now they've got their backs turned because they haven't probably showed up yet. but I feel like you're on your way there. You are on your way there. And listen, this reading could just be confirmation of all the things that you felt that you needed to stop doing. And that's just great too. That's going to be great as well too. So if you're already on this path, kudos. More. And that beware of greed, this pig card could even represent like people who have come into your life, like, you know, through friendships or just people. And now you're ready to like level up. Like you're done with that. You're done with the greediness. You know, everybody just taking. Soul Tribe doesn't take. Soul Tribe is the most beautiful thing you've ever experienced. It's just so freeing. Give me more. Follow your heart's desires and manifest the heck out of your life. Okay. So move more into the heart. I feel like follow your heart's desires. Please, I actually like this card that it came out because I didn't want this to get twisted with manifestations not working. I did feel like a lot of you may be manifesting something and it's just not coming in. And again, I felt like it was not for you maybe. But I don't want you to give up on manifesting or affirmations, period. So I'm glad that that came out because Spirit's saying, hey, don't take the reading in that way. Follow your heart's desires. Continue to manifest. You will move through things I feel like that you know eventually will not be for you. And then you'll just start manifesting something else and you will be successful. You're going to be successful, period, group 2. More. When you meet your soulmate, you feel calm, no anxiety, no agitation. Wow, that could be very specific. That could be in relation to the soul tribe, but that could be also in relation to people, period. I did feel with this group, like you've just been around people who are just, you know, causing a lot of anarchy. And when you meet the right people, this is how you'll feel. Okay. And I do feel like for some of you, you could be holding on somebody who has caused you anxiety, who has caused agitation. Could be the mother, could be this connection, could be whatever it is. But just trust that you're on the right path and that you will know, your soulmates will come in, okay? What you need to be aware of is that whatever is causing, you know, again, this anxiety, this agitation, the right people will not make you feel like that. It's not that they're the wrong people. I shouldn't say that. They're there to teach things, but I feel like you're done now, you know? So like, don't go chasing. Instead, I want to say the waterfalls, the karmics. If you've been chasing karmics or if you've been trying to, I don't know, stay in a soul contract that's not for you anymore, Spirit wants you to do all these things to move out of it so that you can move into the next phase of your life, which is onwards and upwards. So group 2, wow, let me know what you thought. I would love to know. I really wish you all the best, guys. Take care. Okay, so if you were gravitated towards this image, which is pile 3, before we get into your reading, a couple things to note. If you'd like to book a personal, please go and check the comment section. Within the pinned comment, you can find the link to my Etsy shop, as well as my Patreon link. Guys, I do have 400 extra pick a cards that you can view that are exclusive readings. If you want to check them out, you can go to the Patreon link, and for as little as $7 a month, you can access them. I have actually just filmed recently an energetic reading on what just happened in Miami. If you know, you know. And as well as Cat Williams. I looked into Cat Williams and what's happening with that interview, why that happened. If you'd like to access that, you can find that within the comment section. Please also make sure that if you like my content, if you like the way that I read, that you are subscribing. I don't want you missing out on a reading from me or when I go live. So please subscribe and please hit all notifications. That way you can be notified, and that goes for pre-existing subscribers. Okay, so listen, I hope you didn't, skip through the intro. I did explain that, this reading could be potentially triggering. I am going to be reading with all sensitivity, but if I do need to bring up certain things, based upon the topic, I will bring them forth, but just know that they're being brought forth with all love. Just keep an open mind, an open heart, and yeah, just be open, period. Now, this card, Broken Wishbone, wish will not be granted. The interesting thing about this card is that I did feel like it had nothing actually to do with, you know, you not getting what you wanted. I felt like here this was about you. Not changing, but maybe moving into a different type of energy where you would stop granting wishes. I don't know. We have to look into more cards. I'm not sure yet if we have people here who are, you know, very giving, but I don't feel like this has anything to do with your wishes. This has to do with the wishes that people bestow upon you, or, you know, maybe there's control or these ideas of what they want you to be. I'm going to leave it at that. Okay, this is the first card I got a little stumped about. That tells me I'm going to have to tap into more cards. So let's get into it. Please be patient with me. I know people have a very short attention span, but, you know, we are channeling, you know, very deeply here, you know, into, you know, situations that people need to know about. So, you know, take what resonates, leave the rest, but allow me to get the cards out. Okay, this will be a long reading, so get cozy. You may want to save some of this for later. I'm not sure, but just be patient with me. So let's channel your energy. Let's channel everybody who's going to be picking this pile, everyone who's watching at this moment in group 3. What do they need to be aware of? What do they need to be aware of when it comes to spirit? Spirit wanting to tell them and show them what they want them to stop doing from this moment forward. The topic is about what spirit is looking for within those that are watching, whatever needs to come through about what they want them, the viewers, to stop doing as of this moment or going forward. Let's bring forth the messages they need to hear, not the messages they want to hear. And let's bring it forth in a very clear and direct way so that I, as the interpreter, can interpret it to them. Let's get a general idea here with these cards, and then we'll move into the oracle. More on the Two of Swords, more on the Hierophant, more on the Strength, more on the Eight of Pentacles, more on the King of Pentacles, and more on the Star. We've definitely got a very responsible person here. A person who I feel like I'm hearing has taken the weight of the world upon them when no one even gave them that. Maybe there are those that are watching where, you know, people did give you this responsibility, but it was also you had to also accept this as well too. I feel like here Spirit wants you to stop being responsible for the things that you should no longer be responsible for. I feel like you also need to, why am I hearing this? Stop entertaining competition. Either that or you are competing. Now listen, this is where I'm talking about where I'm trying to deliver I'm going to try my best to deliver these messages as sweetly and softly as I can, but sometimes there's just no way to say something. I feel like here we could have some very competitive people who, I don't know, it's their thing. It could be their thing. And listen, this could be that you're competitive with life. It doesn't mean that you're competitive with others, but it is unnecessary competition. I am being told you are the best. You are the best. Is there something here with some people who feel the need to like prove themselves? Now that could be coming from something, you know, from somewhere. Maybe your upbringing, you always feel like you need to do that. Maybe you always feel like you need to, I don't know, express yourself, portray yourself in a particular way. It could even be like a defense mechanism, but I feel like here it's not necessary. And I am hearing that like you are moving, we want you to move, you know, further along in your journey. This is something that kind of needs to fall away a bit. You don't need to prove anymore. You don't need to be, were a lot of you molded to be like this? I don't know if we've got like some inner child core wounds people who were, you know, had to take the responsibility or had to be like, that one that took care of everything, or maybe you didn't even have anybody, so you had to be that person for yourself. But it almost became like an armor, like a shield of armor that you wore. And maybe it did work for a while, but I feel like now it's time to just kind of like release that. Release that. The other thing I feel like that's Spirit wants you to stop doing. Now we've got the High Priestess. That's staring at me right in the eyes. I'm going to say this. A lot of you that are watching, there could be another, how do I want to say this? I don't want to say career, but an outlet. There could be an outlet for you. I feel like a lot of you were meant to be one thing, but I don't know if you were raised a different, or if this is a challenge that you chose to come in with, but a lot of you have a lot to discover about yourself. You actually have gifts that need to be acted upon. And I feel like with the Two of Swords, there could be an ignoring on that, or maybe because you're not aware of, you know, you don't have enough information. You don't necessarily know what to do with it. A lot of you have gifts. And listen, if you have a gift right now, you know, that's, you know, spiritual in nature, but maybe it's just not going the best. So I don't know if there are people here who are psychic, okay? But it's not going the best, as in maybe you're not being able to figure out like how to move in this direction, or even use the intuition or apply it to your life. Or maybe even if you're trying to, you know, start a channel, or if you have a channel, or, you know, have a business, you know, it's just not very clear. You need to stop, I feel like, blocking this or sitting on, you know, that bench about it. There needs to be more action towards this. More put into this. Less of this, the competitive you, maybe even the you that tries to survive in the matrix, and more going a different route. And that route actually is not going to be that easy. I am hearing it's not an easy route, because I feel like you could technically like move, like fall, like people could fall away. Maybe like whoever you have around you right now may not even, I don't know, be into this, but like that's all a part of the plan as well too. And if there is something about religion that you feel like is not really just settling with you that much anymore, it's just not resonating, not settling, but resonating with you that much anymore, I feel like here Spirit's also encouraging the stepping away from that. And that could be tradition as well too, because I do feel like there's a lot of expectations of you here, and I don't know where they're coming from, but these expectations could be very traditional. And it's like, that's just not you really, you know, the inner core. I'm not saying that, you know, maybe you don't like some things, but fully, like to be fully of what is expected, I don't know. It's either you don't resonate with that, or you're not resonating with that anymore, or it's not your path. The other thing you need to stop doing is being extremely hard on yourself too. I feel like I've got a workaholic, but a workaholic could be even like, even an overthinker. I feel like with that Judgment card, this is you to yourself. You tend to, I feel like, be quite the analyzer or perfectionist. That needs to stop, okay? I feel like with this pile, you're your own worst enemy, okay? Like nobody's harder on you than you. That's what I'm hearing. The other thing from this deck that I see that needs to be, you know, stopped. A lot of you, I feel like, are a lot more even intelligent, like extremely like intricate, like your brain could be put on in a museum, okay? I feel like I want to say stop downplaying that. Now, I get it. I got that, you know, I got the competitive vibe. That could have been for someone else, but for some other people, I feel like here there's a bit of like laid backness with your intelligence. It's just, and you get these ideas. They could be very far out. They could be very different. They could be, even with the Ace of Swords, a particular direction in the way that you want to speak. But I feel like here with the Strength, there could be a holding back or trying to be strong or remaining graceful about this, when really you should be going forward very, very clearly on this. So this kind of makes me feel like when somebody wants to say something out loud, it is an Ace of Swords. So I feel like it's communication, or maybe it's the way that they speak, but they could be holding back just a tad bit with the Strength, because the Strength is very graceful. It's very feminine. It could be even, choosing to be charismatic than to be like, forthcoming. I feel like I'm also hearing that as well too. Like, and I hope you know what I mean by that. There are people who like to put things in, these prettier packages, when really it should just be, told or said as is. Like, it just feels to me like there's some things that you may want to say sometimes, that it's like a Band-Aid ripped off, but you don't want to do that. I feel like you don't tend to want to do that. You tend to want to go the graceful route. Now, that can be a good trait, but I feel like in some situations, Spirit's saying, no, in some situations, you need to be more direct about things. And it could be your communication, the way you express yourself. And that could be leading to many different things that cause maybe issues sometimes. Maybe people take advantage. Maybe people are, I don't know, not taking you seriously, stuff like that. I feel like your communication may also be very directly involved with how you've been treated. If you were to look back and see maybe people who have really exhausted themselves on you, maybe really let loose, it probably had something to do with you not expressing yourself, or they could sense that you were battling with yourself on that and they took full advantage. This card is calling to me again. It's a very interesting card to get for pile 3. I think there's a lot that's happening within your life at this moment. Whenever you find this reading, it's almost like, there's a new you emerging. And maybe this broken wishbone has a lot to do with you wanting to remain who you are. I wouldn't be surprised if we have some people here who feel like the old them is dying, like very slowly by slowly, like bit by bit. But I feel like here, if you have a wish, I feel like regarding yourself in the way, like your essence of like the way that you are, maybe you're changing, maybe there's change that is upon you, or there's something that's just not working for you anymore, and it has to do with you. It's not an external thing. That wish, and that's specifically for the people who are wishing for something that is not technically the best for them. Now, if you're wishing for a car, like we're not talking to you. Or, if you want a house, we're not talking about those external things. I feel like this has to do with you. Like your essence. I'm going to have to wait and get more for that. So just bear with me. So I'm going to move to another deck. But wait, the moon is here. We've got some real overanalyzers, real overthinkers, like so much so with the 7 of Cups, it's becoming a little bit misread, interpreted, like the way you think is actually becoming, because it's so excessive. And I feel like with the moon, it happens behind the scenes. It's becoming, you could be quite the overthinker. You need to stop with that, because sometimes the thoughts are actually not even yours. Wow, lots of swords energy. Yeah, a lot of your thoughts are not even yours, I'm hearing. So be careful with that, with your mind. Your mind right now, it's like an overdrive, but sometimes it's like, again, I'm going back to that, like you are your own worst enemy. Let's get some more cards. Like, I'm at a loss for words with this pile. Like, I'll really want anybody who chose this pile to let me know in the comment section if any of this is making sense. Because we've got a unique individual here, that's for sure. Okay, let's get some more cards for group 3 on what they need to know. What does Spirit want them to stop doing, you know, going forward? You know, let's not get crazy with the stopping. I'm not saying it has to be the moment you jump off this, you know, reading. Take your time, you know, live your life, allow your life to unfold. I'm just giving you something to think about here, okay? What does Spirit want group 3 to stop doing? Okay, so there could be a big focus on wealth. You know, we do have that King of Pentacles and that 8 of Pentacles. Is there a lot of thought about wealth? And I mean, like, this could be a big spectrum. Maybe some of you think about it way too much. You have it, but you think about even getting more. Or maybe some of you it's just always there because maybe there's a big lack. There's a huge lack. And maybe for some of you, this has been your worst enemy, you know, with that 5 of Swords. There needs to be a processing with that, a redirection. The wealth, it's too much of a focus in your life right now, whether you come from the people, the side that, you know, it lacks heavily, or like you have it, but you just want more and more and more. Spirit is very specific about that. There's nothing much to really interpret with that, but like you need to, it's the energy around it. I'm not saying you can't manifest wealth. Like, listen, I love to manifest abundance, but like, I also like the simple things. And, you know, I'm just not really caught up in the materialism. Not that you are, but I feel like here, even if you are in a lack, this overthinking or this overstimulation with wealth, where it just plays over and over again, or maybe it has a lot to do with the main theme of your life. And this is why you always want to be better or do better or be like competitive. That needs to get toned down a bit, okay? In a healthy way. I'm not saying you can't manifest your dreams, but I hope you get where I'm going with that, okay? More. Okay, so we have Rooster, an arrogant, boastful person you should not cross. Guys, like, again, you know, just take me with a grain of salt. I think there's at times you could have a side of you that, you know, if that doesn't resonate, just don't click off. These general readings tend to get out of hand, but listen, it's that type of reading, and I have to read the card as is. There are some of you who could have a side of you that's not pretty. Maybe when you get very upset, I don't know, when you're in your competitive phase, or maybe when you get triggered, you could be quite arrogant. You could be boastful, and you could be a person who is not that person who you want to cross. And it's interesting because with the 5 of Swords, that's exactly the 5 of Swords. So maybe this is you. Maybe this is you. But didn't I also say to your own worst enemy? There's a side of you I feel like that needs work on. Okay? Now, again, if that doesn't resonate with you, it's not for you. So don't come for me, please, in the comment section. I am just the messenger. More. Chain of events that will affect your life. What do you need to stop doing? I think there are a lot of you who may be watching who tend to, again, it's the chain of events for me with this card. I feel like there's a side of you, it's like when you kind of are reacting to something, you tend to cause this chain of events, okay? This is all, I feel like, about you. But I feel like this could also be a chain of events that have affected your life. Like, what did I say? You know, I don't really feel like with this pile, you've had the best life. I think a lot of responsibility was thwarted on you at a young age, or maybe even this feeling of being alone. I think this chain of events has a lot to do. It's just coming up also too with respect to why you are the way that you are. There's been a chain of events. And I feel like that's coming up too as well, just to even give sympathy to you in the reading. Because I know a lot of people, like, they may not want to hear these types of things, you know? But I get why you may be arrogant. I get why you might be get mad sometimes or be boastful. Like, maybe it's just a protective thing. More. Valley, deep personal strength and peace that assures success. So listen, your life could be one big deep valley. It could be, very deep. And I bet if someone asked you, if you would have chosen or swapped it out for something else, you may want to in a heartbeat, but others of you may be okay with it. But I feel like here, personal strength, I feel like is a focus with this reading. That's kind of what I'm seeing. And I feel like here, it's your job to find it, okay? It's your job to find it. Look inwards. If a lot of you feel like sometimes your life is falling apart, I just hope everybody here can take a deep look at themselves, I can look at myself. I've got a temper. I've got a way about me. I am a perfectionist and I can't stand when I make a mistake. I actually am my worst enemy. And I'm going to tell you something. I resonate with a lot in this pile, okay? But you have to be able to look at yourself first in order to heal these things. But I feel like personal strength, Spirit wants you to start working on that. And if you have been, then great. But I feel like this is very much about you. Very much about you. And that broken wishbone is still looking at me. Wish will not be granted. It could be that if there are things that you want, that may not happen until this takes place. So that wishbone could be there in the background. But until these things get right, you may not see your manifestations as quick as you want them to. I'm not saying you can't get it, but that's just what I'm seeing. Okay, let's get 5 cards from this deck. Oh my goodness, pile 3. I wonder if I've lost a lot of people. Oh goodness, everybody wants a tarot reading until, you start speaking, deep truth and, maybe it's a bit, hurtful. So listen, on my channel, it's just not going to be, that type of thing. Sometimes we will look at the shadow side. Sometimes we will have to go deep. We can't just make it be about what is coming for you, okay? So let's get some cards from this deck for group 3 on what Spirit wants them to stop doing. Control, Alt, Delete. So listen, that could be a card that could be very depictive of many things. It could be that there are things that need to stop. Stop is a big one for me, actually. That as soon as I said that word, it resonated deeply. This is a reading of what you need to stop doing. So I felt like there needs to be a pause on certain things, maybe like an inward looking, I feel like I just heard Spirit say that whatever you've got going on in your life needs to take a back seat to you. You, I feel like, need to put yourself at the forefront. I feel like whoever's watching has lost themselves, for a long time. Hasn't even had the time, maybe too much, to really look at, themselves or work on themselves. And if you've been working on yourself, that's great. But I feel like it needs to go deeper. We need deeper. But I also want to say, just because this is a general reading, there's a lot of things that in your life that need to go as well too. Now that's going to be very open to interpretation. So you will have to think of the first thing that came to your mind. And what I can say about the thing that needs to go, it does feel like something that feels good, but may not be the best for you. And for some of you, just for one specific person, I did hear gambling. I don't know why I heard that. I heard gambling. in any capacity. I don't care if it's that you like to go to bingo every Friday, okay? But it could be something that, you know, represents codependency, or that could be like the devil card, you know, like a codependency or an obsession or something like that. But you know deep down it may not be good for you. And if it also could be this love of money or this, you know, energy around money. Give me more. What does pile 3 need to be aware of? What does Spirit want them to stop doing? Rolling in their grave. Oh, wow. This is going to be very specific. Like, I'm blown away, pile 3. Like, I really am going to want anybody who chose this pile to comment. Okay. There may be somebody who passed away in your life. Think of the first person that hits your mind when I say this, who you were not maybe on good terms with, or it just didn't end right. I feel like I'm hearing, or even thoughts, there's something about releasing that and getting right with that. And I know there's a lot of people who are gonna be like, well, they did this to me, they did that to me. I get it. I understand. I've been through it myself. But the only person that hurts is you. So I feel like here there's somebody who is literally rolling. That's a very symbolic word, rolling in their grave. And it could be every time you talk about them, they hear it. And this is in a negative light, when you are talking about them in a negative light, or they can hear or see your thoughts. Now listen, if you want to choose to, you know, carry that grudge, don't come for me in the comment section. Just do that. Okay. But I feel like there is somebody, again, that may have passed over, that is just like, and the moon's there. So is the moon here. And I feel like there is a lot of hiddenness with you, things that bother you, that don't necessarily, they're just not good for you, these things that you feel, okay? Something needs to be released regarding a person from the past. Now, I'm not saying that you have to welcome them into your energy and say, yeah, show up in my dream state. No, but release it, let it go, because I don't want it harming you, okay? It's harming you. The grudges, you drink the poison, okay? It's not the other person, all right? But I feel like there's something about someone else. So Spirit wants you to stop, release everything that transpired with another person. That could be very specific. Let's keep going. Jeez, this is like pile 3 is this is the deepest pile so far. Like as far as depth, wow. Okay, so we have wasting your time. Okay, so that is also, you know, very forthright in depiction. There could be something that you're doing. Think of what you feel like. If you had to think, you know, I always try to help my viewers to find out, you know, how these, you know, readings resonate with them. What would you say is wasting your time? That's what it's going to be. And it could be either way you think, your thought process. Maybe you're wasting time with stupid people. I don't know. But there's something that you technically waste your time. It's like, we don't got no more time. And I don't mean like you don't have any more time on earth. I'm just saying we don't have any more time to waste. Spirit wants you to stop wasting your time with people, maybe even apologizing for who you are, doing things you don't need to be doing anymore, showing up in places you don't need to be showing up. This is not a time to waste time. And something tells me with this card, it's really about you. You know, the focus needs to be about you. So everything else that is a waste of time, please disregard of. Please disregard of it. Others of you, if that's a big thing in your life, you get very fearful about wasting time. That also needs to stop, okay? I used to be like that. I used to be like YOLO all the time. Like, oh my God, I gotta do the most while I'm here, you know? Spirit's like, just calm down, calm down. You're on earth. We get it, you know? You're a star seed. You probably came from another dimension where there was a lot more magic happening. but you're on earth. So just chill out. So this could just also just be about, if you have a fear of wasting your time, time is, going by. So there's going to be two groups of people that's going to resonate with in those two categories. Okay. More. Starting from zero. So a lot of you could have a fear about starting from zero, or a lot of you could be in a position right now where you are catching this reading and you are literally like starting from zero. Is there also a fear of starting from zero? Because that, I don't know. Some of you may be holding on to something that, if you were to discard of, it would put you back at zero. So I don't know if that's like a marriage. I don't know if it's a job. I don't know, but there's a fear around. I am feeling fear with this, starting from zero. But then for others of you, I feel like there's an idea that needs to be acted upon. But I feel like there could be a fear of like what it's going to take to achieve that. Could be a startup, something new. I don't know. You're going to have to go with, again, what resonates with you. But it's like one of those two things for you guys. There's no need for this fear around that. And if there's something that you need to walk away from, don't also keep yourself there, because you would technically be starting from zero if you were to walk away. Okay, let's do one more. Belligerent. So listen, this is very much like that rooster. I think a lot of you, listen, we all have it. This is not technically an insult. We all have a belligerent side. I feel like if you don't, you're pretty much a saint, because I know everybody has that side of them, whether it's about a volume, maybe they're very loud, or maybe it's that they just get very hard on themselves. There's a side of you, I'm telling you, Spirit wants you to tone down, and it's the belligerent side of you. And that whole belligerent word, it's like, when someone's just going off the hinges and they get to a point where they don't even make sense, sometimes there's not even a justification for this, okay? That's what I'm hearing for some of you. So that really is speaking to me, like with this rooster card, okay? I think if you get very angry, like you could get very angry with yourself. You could be the hardest on yourself. That's what I saw. Your own worst enemy. There's some pent up energy, like unhealed energy, I feel like, with you. Or maybe something you haven't like been able to, move through. Maybe there's some anger. And listen, don't take me the wrong way. I'm not saying you don't have a right to be, okay? But like, I don't know. This is just what's coming through from spirit, sorry. Okay, let's get 2 cards from this deck, my Brittany Carmichael, on what you need to be aware of, what spirit wants you to be aware of, in regards to like what you need to stop doing. Believe in yourself, unleash your inner unicorn. Some of you really, really need to like be who you are. Either be who you are or become this unicorn, because I feel like you've got it in you. But a lot of you, you've got this. I felt it with the High Priestess. Like you really do believe, but then there's this other side of you that maybe doesn't, maybe there's like this second guessing. But I feel like here you need to like do more of believing in yourself, do more of unleashing your unique, inner unicorn. Some of you may have a side to you that maybe you think, I'm not saying it, you think is a little bit weird. Maybe you wonder how people would take it. Maybe you're into spirituality. Who the hell knows? Maybe you're into tarot cards. But, you don't want to share that side of yourself, and I'm not saying that you should share it with everybody, but that is a part of being yourself, So listen, I think there's parts of you, there's aspects of you that need to come to the surface. I don't know if there is, with this moon card, a part of yourself that you hide. And it can be anything, guys, anything. I don't care if it's like what you like to eat, what you like to do in your spare time, who you really are as a person. Spirit wants you to stop suppressing that side. Maybe for fear of being misunderstood. Hey, that was me before 2020. I didn't really want to share my gifts, you know, because I didn't need anybody being like, who's that quack? Okay. So I get it. And I'm just incorporating myself so you kind of understand me. One more. Okay, so create your own happiness. So Spirit wants you to start. There's the moon again. There's the moon again. Spirit wants you to start creating your own happiness and being cool with that. I don't know here if we have some people who are starting to move into their own company, or we have people here who have like always felt alone. It's okay. It's okay. It's totally cool. I know we haven't been taught that. We've been taught, you know, the BS of, you know, if you don't have a slew of people around you, you're just not normal. It's not true. It's all a lie. Okay. You have the power to really manifest. Okay. But I'm starting to see what this broken wishbone is. Okay. Listen. Wow. How am I going to deliver this message, Spirit? Oh my God. Okay. Do not take me too seriously, but there are aspects of you that are broken. Okay. Now I get it. You actually are a powerful manifester, but it's just like you're just working through those other things. There are some aspects of, and I get that. The moment I started working on things, okay, things I couldn't move past, but like it took time, I noticed my manifestations picked up. So this is all about wishes that you have, but there are parts of you that, and I hate that word, but like I have to use it because it's on the card. It's like it's broken. It's broken. It needs to be mended. It needs like tender, loving care. Maybe you need to move more into your authenticity and like be cool with who you are, like not so afraid to like show the real you. I get it now, Spirit. Wow, that's actually quite beautiful. Let's get 2 cards from this deck. What does Spirit want Group 3 to stop doing? That's beautiful. Peace comes from within. Do not seek it without. It's all in you. It's all in you. It's not out there. It's in you. And it's kind of great. It's kind of great too because it's a new year. And I think this spread is going to be, you're going to be looking at this spread in a different way. And maybe even 8 months from now. Because you're currently working on all these things. I can see it. It's coming about. It has to be. It has to be looked at. It's coming out. Maybe a lot of you are dealing with that. But wow, with that card, it really does resonate with the reading. We've got so much about you. It's all about you. It's not about anything outside of you. More. Don't be afraid of losing someone who doesn't want you. Wow. This one, you may actually be a little bit taken aback by, like when I am about to interpret this. There's a side of you that's not working out, okay? There's a side of you that's not working out. We all have it. I'm not saying that you are some, you know, strange person. We all have those sides that are not working out, okay? Whether we get through it, that's another story. I think that you will. Don't be afraid of losing the old you. Or if there's aspects of yourself that haven't been working out, maybe it hasn't been taking you in the right direction. That energy, it needs to go, okay? That side of you needs to go, whatever is unhealed. Don't be afraid of losing her or him, okay? Because that her or him, it doesn't really want you because it's been doing nothing but maybe even wreaking havoc upon your emotions, upon your like thought form, you know, your thought space. Oh my God, this pile is so intense, so intense. I'm just hoping that I didn't lose a bunch of people because maybe they weren't ready to receive the message. Anyways, pile 3. I really wish you all the best. I really hope that this was not taken in any kind of particular way where I was like coming for you. I wasn't. I was trying my best to be as sensitive as possible. But you're growing. You're definitely growing. That's what it feels like to me. And with this broken wishbone, once that part of you is like, healed up and, sealed and, got a good foundation, that's gonna help you, I feel like, to manifest this dream life that you're trying to get, okay? Just know that it's coming. It's not like it's not gonna happen. It is. I do see that. You probably, with this pile, are probably going through a very deep awakening, okay? Your whole life has been an awakening. It's profound. It's profound. I have nothing more to say. Let me know what you thought, guys. Thanks. Okay, so if you were gravitated towards this image, pile 4, this is going to be a reading, but before we start, a couple things to note. Firstly, please go down and check the comment section. There's a pinned comment from me. Within that comment, you will find the link to my Etsy shop should you want to book a personal, as well as if you'd like to check out my Patreon channel. I've got about 400 pick a cards on there. If you'd like to access more content from me, you can totally do so by accessing that link. And I have just read just my most recent posting on there is an energetic world reading on what has just taken place in Miami. Okay, if you know, you know, as well as Cat Williams. Okay, that big interview that's going around. I have done an energetic reading on that, so you can definitely find that reading amongst 400 more within that comment section under the Patreon link. Please, guys, if you are not subscribed, if you're a pre-existing subscriber and you're not subscribed, please check that you have all notifications on. If you are new and you like the way I read and I want to see more, I don't want you missing out on reading from me or when I go live. So please make sure that you are subscribed and that you have all notifications tapped. So let's get into this reading. I do want to say it's been very heavy. Okay, this is why I put that, that little message on the thumbnail that this could be potentially triggering. Just keep an open mind and open heart. We are diving deep today, but we are looking predominantly at what spirit, okay, wants you to stop doing. So I'm going to tap into that. You did get this card, the stork, news of a birth or a new business opportunity. I feel like from what I can tell right now, what I can pick up right now with the news is sticking out to me. I feel like this could be about you spreading the news regarding this, not to do that. We all know that there's energy that is carried by, spilling our creations to others. It tends to kind of, they throw their energy on it. You got to keep things to yourself when you're doing things, but that's all I can pick up for now. That card will start to make more sense as I keep reading. So let's get into it. So let's channel everybody who's watching in group 4 and let us bring forth the messages they need to hear at this time, not the messages they want to hear. And let's bring it forth in a very clear and direct way so that I, as the interpreter, can interpret them to them. What does Spirit want group 4, every person in group 4, to stop doing? And please be patient with me. This is going to be a long reading. I am pulling from multiple decks. And again, just take what resonates and leave the rest. Lots of fiery energy here. More on the Queen of Wands, more on the King of Swords, more on the Ten of Cups, more on the Eight of Wands, more on the Five of Swords, and more on the Knight of Swords. So we have the Hierophant on the bottom. So let's just go very slowly. The first thing that's peeking out at me is that there needs to be decisions made. A lot of you know, okay, that there are particular people that walk amongst you, that are near you, close to you, that are not for you. They're not for you. I've got here the Five of Swords. This is an enemy in plain sight, but this is also unnecessary competition. I feel like here, a lot of you can see them. I don't know that I feel like you can't see them. I know that I said that they're hidden, but I feel like here with the Queen of Wands, you're perceptive. You're perceptive. You are. You know, she's the only queen that sits with the cat at her feet. So she's got the gift of intuition. I just feel like here, you could tend to really have that type of, you know, energy where you believe in everybody. You know, everybody has a past. You're forgiving. But I just feel like your circle is not exactly what you think it is, okay? And if you feel like, yeah, okay, you know, people have their flaws, or, you know, there are people out there, you know, they may not be perfect. I think these people could potentially be energetically holding you back. Not only that, just their energy be around you, it can actually stop you from attaining your goals, okay? We all know that to manifest, we do have to have a clean space. Anytime people are asking me how to manifest, but yet they're in toxic situations, I always tell them, well, that's the first thing you need to do, is get yourself out of that, because we need you in your best, you know, mind frame, best heart space. There is something for some of you with the 10 of Cups that needs to go. It is something that maybe has been around for a while. Yes, it could be family. It could be something that, you know, used to make you happy, but is not making you happy anymore. It's kind of like a false sense of happiness because it's a 10. A 10 is a 10 in tarot, which means it needs to go. And we've got this 8 of Swords card, which is, you know, self-sabotage. Whatever this is, it's sabotaging you. It's keeping you trapped. I feel like here, Spirit wants you to, in a way, do better for yourself, okay? Again, I'm not bashing you. I'm trying my best to actually be very sensitive within this topic because, you know, I understand, you know, I'm speaking to a lot of people, but like at the end of the day, look at the topic, right? Like there's not going to be an easy way to say it. But I do feel like here, with the King of Swords, I feel like here, something that you need to stop doing. Ooh, this is going to be hard to say. You move very much from the heart. I see that with the Queen of Wands. And I do feel like you've got this strong sense of like sympathy for others. But do people have sympathy for you? That's what I want to ask you. I feel like here we need to move more into the King of Swords. The King of Swords is more like integrity. And, you know, listen, some of the things that you're maybe, you know, engaged in right now, it is stripping you a bit of your integrity. You can feel it deep down. It's just not serving you, you know, in a healthy way. So I feel like we need to move. There's movement. Spirit wants you to go, move, get going. And listen, I am also very sensitive that, you know, it takes time. I don't want anyone thinking that I'm doing this reading and I'm telling you like, okay, tomorrow you got to start doing this or, you know, nothing will work out for you. No, I'm just giving you, you know, the reading in the way that I need to so that you can hear the message. Now with the 5 of Cups, I'm going to say another thing. A lot of you need to stop looking backwards. Okay. I think here, this could be in a range of emotions. I don't know if it's things you could have done better or things you could have said or paths you could have walked down. But I feel like with the 5 of Cups, there's a lot of regret. You're having regret about things that actually were, it's like the plan. Everything went according to plan, whether you believe that or not. And there needs to be a moving forward. So with the 5 of Cups, right? Let's just take a moment to honor the image on the card. So this person on the card is very focused on those 3 cups that have spilled over, okay? Very emotional, hence the river in the background, okay? But they fail to see the 2 cups standing behind them. This could also point to like you being extremely hard on yourself, okay? Like focusing more on what has went wrong instead of the accomplishments, okay? I really do feel like you've accomplished a lot, but a lot of you tend to focus on what's not going right or what you're not doing right. I feel like here, there's a lot about mistakes here. Even this Four of Swords is about mistakes, not wanting to make a mistake. There's something about the outlook, okay? There's an outlook. A lot of you, I don't know if it's a perfectionist thing or if it's just like you don't want to make more mistakes. Mistakes will be made, okay? There needs to be like a different way of looking at things. Mistakes will be made. That's life, okay? There is something about your outlook that's coming through. I feel like you need to stop overanalyzing in the sense of, you know, every little step you take, or overanalyzing like decisions. But the outlook needs to be, you know, changed in the sense that like, you're not perfect. Nobody is. You will make mistakes. But I feel like you also need to know a lot of the mistakes that you have made, they're behind you. And, you know, you're only getting better, like as you go, as you age, as you move forward in this spiritual journey. Don't be afraid to make them. Now, I do want to say here with this card, a lot of you, see how I'm telling you that this is going to start being incorporated now into the reading because I can understand it more. A lot of you have a lot of reservations about a business, okay? Maybe it's an existing business or if it's some sort of new business you want to do. A lot of you, I feel like, worry about it. Worry about too much about how it will go. Maybe it even stops you from creating it because you're so focused on the little details. Okay, I feel like with this Chariot, it's very energetically, it's telling me as a reader that we just need to like move and stop thinking so much. Okay, I feel like here a lot of you have a lot of reservations around a business or starting one. Your business could also be a very top priority for you, but it's all centered around like the over-analyzing. And if it is the birth, okay, of a child too, I'm also hearing that you need to stop worrying about this too. If you do want to have them, there needs to be something of a letting go, okay? A lot of you may be, I mean, this stork is looking at an empty nest. So I don't know here if we have some people who have just recently, you know, like their children have moved out. I don't know if it's that we've got like some empty nesters here that are just, you know, really not in a, like the great state of, you know, energy regarding that. Could be very emotional. Or we've got people who worry a lot about the fact that they're not having children or it hasn't happened for them, or, you know, maybe they can't get pregnant. I don't know. The worry around this is actually giving life to something, okay? It's also giving life, it's birthing something else that may not be something that you want. You don't even maybe even sometimes realize what the energy of this worry around all these things does. You need to, I feel like, let bygones be bygones or release something regarding this, okay? And I understand that. Because anything that you give life to or you stifle or you try to control or you think too much of, it's just never going to be a good outcome to that, okay? There is a lot of power in releasing and letting go, and I feel like that's also what I'm hearing with this group. Okay, I'm being called to pull from another deck now. I'm not getting any more. A lot of you also with the Hierophant are coming upon like a new foundation, or you've been, you know, moving out of tradition. Some of you, your awakening with that Judgment on the bottom had a lot to do with the path that you crossed into, like spirituality, moving away from tradition. I feel like here, if there's a lot of like thoughts about that in itself, if that was the right path, I'm hearing also to stop doing that. There's no mistakes with you guys. There is no mistakes. Like nothing's a mistake. You actually are walking more in your path than you may think you are. But because it's filled with what would look like externally or like in society as mistakes, I feel like it's getting skewed. That's interesting. Okay, let's get some cards from here. We're going to pull 4. Let's pull 4 cards on what Spirit wants you to stop doing moving forward. Are you kidding me? Depression, anxiety, worry that someone is against you. Okay, so big emphasis on that. I've already picked that up. That I feel like depression, there's anxiety. But it's interesting because I feel like here that I think you know who's against you. I think your enemies, even if your enemies are not in your face, but they're just around, you can feel it. You're very perceptive. I think you know exactly who you are, who your enemies are. And I really do believe that this is real. You do have worry that someone is against you, and I see it here. I feel like here you need to make choices, okay? So Spirit wants you to stop maybe sitting on this and do something about it. And I'm talking specifically about the enemies or the people that are against you. They're not good for you. It's not good even around you. Even if they're subtle, even if they're passive aggressive, even if you don't even know who they are, maybe they're online. I don't know. Just get rid of them. Hide them from your channel if you're on a channel. Just do what you got to do. But I feel like here, this depression, this anxiety about mistakes or looking backwards, it needs to be looked at, okay? More. So we've got Apple, temptation will test you. I think some of you, know about a particular temptation. You've got a particular temptation and maybe you think about that a lot. Maybe for some of you, there's something in particular, whether it's food, whether it's a particular type of person, whether it is an addiction, it like the apple, it hangs on that tree, like almost like over you. And I feel like here, you need to be told that you need to stop worrying about this as well. You're more stronger than you think. And whatever this temptation is, I feel like it's in the past. I really do. And I know it says temptation will test you, but I'm feeling energetically and reading it like with the 5 of Cups, it's in the past. So this thing that you feel like sometimes, has a hold on you, it's an illusion. It's an illusion. You're more powerful than you think you are. And whatever that temptation is, just participate as the viewer. What's the first thing you thought about when I said that? More. And work, achievement, and success. Yeah, I really do think with this group, you worry a lot about the future. You think a lot about it. The interesting thing about this group is that I think you are successful right now. I think you will be successful in the future. I don't even think the success is a problem. I just think that there's something that needs to be worked on regarding like your thought form. Not only your thought form, the way you think about, your past mistakes, and maybe even taking leaps of faith into something that's new, taking on something new. Maybe there's a lot of anxiety around the work, what it's going to take to get there. Stop getting ahead of yourself. We've got the ant on this card, and, the ant is a hard worker, If anybody can get it done, it's them. I think you are going to be able to achieve all your dreams. You've got it within you. You're powerful. I just think it's time to move forward. I think it's time to stop looking backwards. Success is in your future. It's 100% in your future. Like, And I'm also hearing, they're showing me like what I'm saying, and it's like that mentality. It's already done. It's already done. Anything I want to do, it's already done. And no enemy like against me shall prosper. I think a lot of you may be giving too much power to these enemies. You're untouchable. You are. More. Weeping Willow family sorrow. Okay, a lot of you, this one's deep. I feel like a lot of you have went through a lot of things with your family, but it's crazy with the this weeping willow, this willow tree. I feel like here you're different. This makes me feel like when there's, you know, something going down the line and it's just passing generation to generation, but it stops with you. A lot of you take on a lot with respect to what has happened in your family or what your family has maybe even done to you or what you've went through. And you're not your family, I'm hearing. You need to be told that. You need to stop connecting yourself. That's if you don't resonate with them in a good way. You need to stop connecting yourself to them. They're not you. You're not them. This is just an experience. This whole family thing has gotten actually quite out of, I feel like, sorts, out of control here on earth. When I had my meditation, my past life regression, that's what showed me, you know, like one life, that person can be my sister. The next life, they're my husband. It's just, we're just playing roles, you know? I feel like here with the Five of Cups as well, I think your family served a particular purpose for certain lessons, but now it's time to move on from that. I'm hearing it again, you are not your family and your family is not you. Don't let their shame or whatever they did, like, come on to you. It's not being passed to you. It doesn't need to be passed to you. Whatever shame, whatever you feel about your family, you don't have to accept it. It's not a part of you. You can be someone different. You don't have to be in any way connected to that. Okay. And it could just be energetically. And I'm not talking about cutting them off, you know, if that's what you want to do, that's your choice. But what I'm saying is, even if you still talk to them, and let's say there's like trauma or like these people are messed up, like that's their problem. It's not yours. Okay. And there was nothing wrong with you. I'm also hearing. Wow. Okay. This reading has been very deep, very deep. Even as the reader, it's been very deep. Let's get into some more details around what Spirit wants you to stop doing going forward. I'm going to pull 5 cards. Bring forth the messages those that are watching at this moment need to hear. Independent. She's on a road, you know, she's on like this empty road. She's walking down a path. I am hearing, if a lot of you question whether the path that you're on is right, it is right. And actually don't question it anymore. You have made decisions. You are different. And I do feel like I'm seeing you apart from the crowd. So I don't know if this is like your family or if this is just you feeling very different, not being able to connect to everybody. That's okay, Spirit saying. Stop worrying about whether this path that you're walking down is the right path. You know, maybe there's particular choices you've made where you've had to walk away. You've had to pack your bag. Maybe it's an energetic bag, you know, maybe just disengaging, maybe moving yourself out of situations. Like maybe you feel bad about being independent. Maybe you feel bad about being different. Maybe you feel bad about the doors you've closed. You don't need to feel that. You don't need to take that on. This is exactly what you should be doing. And there's no mistakes. I'm hearing it again. There has been no mistakes with you. And if you feel lonely, this also goes, intertwined with this message. There's nothing wrong with you. And if you feel lonely Remember, this is a societal constraint. It's not even a thing, okay? I think for you, you would rather be alone than be surrounded by a bunch of phonies, okay? And let's be real. A lot of people who like to talk about their friends and blah, blah, they're all phonies, okay? Soul tribe is rare. You know, if you want to catch my video, go check my comment section. There's no such thing as friendship, okay? Only soul tribe. Wow. This pile really needs like a real round of applause, because I feel like you have probably taken a lot of risks, what would seem like risks to you, or have really ventured out on the road less traveled and just really have maybe even faced a lot of flack for that. But, you know, it's okay. You're still going strong. You're still doing your own thing. If you don't resonate with the people around you, that's cool. You need to release all of that. You're doing the damn thing. More. Caught out there. This could be for some of you who are afraid to get caught out there. I feel like here there could be something big. The first thing my mind's actually shooting towards is like there could be a leap of faith or something that somebody wants to do. It is a new beginning with the one on the card. Maybe you want to go public. Maybe you worried a lot about your image. You know, your image, how you come across. Stop worrying about that. Stop worrying about being caught out there. I feel like here this could also be about something that could be secretive. I feel like we could have a lot of honest people here. I'm actually hearing the opposite, like keep it to yourself. Keep it to yourself. If you do feel like with this, you know, again, this news card, you know, the stork, I don't know if you tend to kind of like to tell people what you're doing. Don't do that, okay? Don't talk to people about your new beginnings. Things you want to do that are new, but this could also be about very much about your image. A lot of you may worry about your image and how you're seen or portrayed, or maybe I'm catching somebody here who's just on the brink of doing all this and is very worried about how they're going to come across. That is not your business, okay? Stop making that your business. Do what you love, do what you need to do. Don't worry about your image or how you come across or what people will say, think, or do in regards to it. Let's get more. More for pile 4. Mouth of lies. Okay, this feels to me like a little bit of sugarcoating. I do see the honey inside the girl, you know, with the girl's mouth. And I feel like here, there could be something about the way that you communicate. Maybe you tend to tell a lot of lies because you don't want to speak the truth. Maybe you realize you're very, you know, it would hurt people. But this could also be the other way where you tend to maybe wonder if you should. Maybe you are very blunt. Maybe you feel like that aspect of you is just not, I don't know, a good trait. I feel like here, what needs to be told is the truth. And I think it's about your authentic self. And it has something to do, it's talking about the mouth. So that for me is communication. It's time to step into the power. It's time to speak up. It's time to stop being a mouth of lies for maybe the, you know, other people's feelings. I did pick that up here, you know, for some of you. Some of you could be, you know, again, very sympathetic, but maybe this is even like saying no. Stop spreading yourself too thin. Stop spreading yourself too thin, I'm hearing. If it's a no, if it's what your intuition tells you to do, don't say yes, okay? So that would be technically a mouth of lies because you really want to say no, but you're saying yes. But also if you want to express yourself, don't hold back anymore, okay? Don't hold back. Stop holding back, I'm hearing. more. Junk drawer. Okay, this one's kind of funny. Don't take this in the wrong way, but I really did hear some of y'all need to really clean up your place. And it's not that you're dirty. I just feel like an organized space will do a lot better. Okay, it will make you, we all know about spaces. It's a reflection sometimes of what's going on. But a cleaner space, an organized space, maybe there's like a junk drawer somewhere that needs to get, sorted out. But this could be also very reflective of what's going on. Maybe life has been very chaotic. I feel like it starts with the environment. Get organized, I'm hearing. Stop saving every little thing. Stop even, collecting things that don't make sense. That could be a very specific message for some people. And I do know some people actually with some quirky traits like this. I know one person who likes to save like tags from clothes. I just don't get that. I think if we were to like do an analysis on this person, it would probably be something deeper, but because I do believe everything means something. Okay. But I feel like with the junk drawer, some of you guys are getting like a very ironic, kind of humorous thing here. It's your space. It's your space. Something needs to get cleared up. And this could also help like with your life. It can transition into your life by cleaning your space. That one is very precise. Yeah, it really feels like it's about organization. Or like being less scattered, Maybe you have your mind all over the place. Maybe there's a lot of ideas. But this really does feel to me like space, your space. Okay, let's do one more. Okay, that card was on the bottom. So we have childish behavior. I feel like a lot of you there's a couple messages coming through with this. I think there are aspects of some people who are watching who like to be childish in a very cute way. It's actually healthy. Don't be apologetic for this, be a big kid if you want to. There's nothing wrong with that. But I feel like this could also point to your tolerance for this. Stop accepting this. If this is like a common theme that you feel like you've been dealing with, and I'm feeling like for some people, it could really be like people you would consider to be older, but they're just like, you're older than me. Why are you behaving like this? Like, don't tolerate it. Don't tolerate it. If this is others, I feel like here, again, it's just, there's something of like getting on one's level, like even maturity wise, or just like even on your frequency or your space. Be careful with that. I'm hearing Spirit say like, stop tolerating this, okay, from others. But if this is also you and you resonate with the fact that you like to be a little silly sometimes, or, you want to go do something that, you find like, okay, maybe I'm too old for this. It's okay. Do it. Don't feel bad about it. Okay. Okay. Let's move on to this deck. Let's get 2 cards from this deck for group 4. What do they need to stop doing? Slow down and rest. You need it. That's very to the point. I feel like a lot of you who have chosen this are at your max capacity. I am seeing some people who are like literally cannot cry anymore. Cannot deal anymore. It's going to be as simple as maybe even getting some crystals, drawing a bath, and writing down, journaling it out. You need to slow down. Stop and slow down. Okay? Stop and slow down. You need rest. You need rest. I feel like here your emotions are in overdrive. It's just been too much. And listen, I'm all for the purging, and whatnot, and, going deep. but everybody needs a break here and there. And I feel like you need to do something for yourself and take action on this a bit too, because, you know, I don't know that you're maybe even taking care of yourself in the way that Spirit wants you to, okay? More. Okay, kind of interesting. We're getting a similar card now to the junk drawer, okay? But I was also picking up on this as well at the beginning of the reading when I was saying there's something very interesting about your space, okay? It says practice feng shui and create a sacred space. A lot of you need to really like disinfect your space. And I don't mean like literally, I mean energetically. There are people who need to go. There is new movement. Listen, I think you're getting ready to, you know, transition into some other aspect of your life. There's no more room for these other things that weigh you down. I see that here. It weighs you down and it's a 10. It's a 10 of cups. Needs to go. It's something that used to make you happy before. It's not making you happy anymore, okay? And if it's, you know, your limitations, if it's you, you know, becoming more stern on things, just apply it to your situation. The space needs to be cleaned up. That's a big message coming through for this pile. Like a huge message, because listen, you're about to embark on a new journey. It's your business that you have. It's maybe a new business, or maybe it's, you know, you're bringing in someone into this world. So you better believe that's going to be all cause for, you know, decluttering. And look at this, the nest. The nest is like your space. It's like your home. It's like symbolic of that. Okay, let me get 2 cards from this deck, please, for this group. What does Spirit want them to stop doing? The hottest love has the coldest end. Woo! That hit me like a ton of bricks, I felt like, when I read that. There could be a few of you who are watching who have come into contact with a very hot love, which had a cold ending, really cold. It's time to release it. It's time to release it. Let it go. Let it go. Let it go. I'm really hearing you gotta let it go. We're not here to talk about what may happen. I'm not even being told to tell you that it's gonna come back. I'm not even being told to tell that. It's more about letting it go. It's also infecting your space. It's wreaking havoc on your space. It's just in your energy, in your bones. You can feel it. It bothers you. That's for some of you. Let's get another card. But I do want to say as well, too, that could be also in regards to something that you need to, you know, also take action on, okay? That ending, I felt like. You will meet your soulmate when the time is right. This is about love, guys. Some of you may have been really hurt by somebody recently. I'm not even going to pretend to know what they were. I don't care if they were a karmic. I don't care if they were a soulmate or a twin flame. Who cares? I feel like here you were really hurt by somebody. That person wasn't your last bus. You need to get yourself back in the saddle. Wipe those tears, put that chin up, and just get on. Move forward, okay? Move forward. I feel like this pile has faced a lot of hurt, has been dealing with a lot of like deep emotions. But what you need to know is that regardless of this reading, okay, this reading is only supposed to be used as a tool, okay? But regardless of the reading, you will get through this. If you saw this reading or not, you would have got through this. There's a future you existing in a future timeline that's doing spectacular. And your space is beautiful. You are happy, you are healthy, and you are doing something new. And it's beautiful. So let me know what you thought about this reading. I wish you all the best. Take care.